Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy, what is it today? Tuesday? Feels like a Monday based on how red the charts are, but we'll talk about that and much more, of course. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. Love teaching people to trade. Truly hope you can learn something here today. And of course, if you do, comment below, let me know. Love to hear your feedback, constructive criticism, whatever. If you want to become a better trader, however, cryptocash.tech is a website, link in the description below. Check that out in your own time, of course. I offer a trading college. Trading community, which is fantastic. We all learn and grow together. In fact, we have a meeting here in a little while to just discuss the state of the market. And then furthermore, as well, I send out signals for every single trade that I take, so you can learn how to structure your trades effectively based on the market conditions, because they're always changing, and you need to be, creative in the ways in which you structure your trades. You can't stick to the same thing every time. All right, so check that out in your own time. Last thing to check out, of course, is BitGit. Definitely register with them. They're a phenomenal exchange, especially for my US members who do not want to use a VPN and, of course, have the option to use leverage or want the option to use leverage. It's fantastic. I really like to be able to have that choice for my community members, so that's why I partnered with them. And, of course, there's a transfer bonus if you were to transfer some funds over and trade with them. Keep in mind you have to trade on their exchange in order to benefit from that, but it is absolutely something that I was able to take advantage of, and it's a really nice little feature. So check that out in your own time. Link in the description below for that. So here's the thing with Bitcoin. We're on the struggle bus today here. We shouldn't actually have seen this kind of red behavior based on yesterday's candlestick closing as high as it did. In other words, in the 24-hour period from yesterday, this candlestick went all the way down, wicked all the way down to 18,300 is a rough estimate, and closed right back up in the 19,500-600 range. So it essentially closed higher than it opened previously, and in that 24-hour period had increased. So in other words, this is usually referred to as a doji candle, or basically dragonfly doji candle, and it's supposed to be followed by green behavior, or green, green candles, so to speak. Well, obviously not seeing that here today, but you got to keep in mind traditional markets are down a decent amount. S&P is struggling, and of course you can see somewhat of a correlation between these two and Bitcoin, right? So again, it's not a super surprise that this is happening, but it's unfortunate and shouldn't occur. But keep this in mind also. Doji candles are not 100%, right? They're like a strong likelihood, but not necessarily a foolproof. And there's a great chance the price could still recover from here. So let's take a look here, of course. We can see a support level right in the range of about 18,800. It's right where the price just wicked down. So we can kind of see that that is a potential point of contention. And that we got to be careful in the sense that if we get a closure below that, there's a strong likelihood we might see further continuation. Take a look here also at the RSI. We're still under 50 on the RSI. That's never a great sign. We've known this for a while. I've been talking about the overall bearish sentiment that we're seeing right now, and it's just going to continue until it doesn't. It's really the bottom line. But we got a bearish divergence here as well, so the daily still does not look great. And obviously this red line here is the descending trend starting back in November, essentially at the 69,000 range, and it's continued down ever since. Okay, so we're still stuck under that, and it's it's just one of those realities that we got to face, right? Until it breaks above, we're still considered bearish. And even if it does break above, we're not bullish at all. It's just probably going to be range bound or sideways for some time until it builds a base and continues higher. So we got to kind of recognize there's so much volume at this price point that it's giving us a good steady, standard amount of support. But the longer we stay below 20,000, the more difficult it becomes. Okay. So again, just some things to kind of think about there. On the 4-hour, of course, we can see this strong red candle here recently with basically. We had that similar pattern there. We can see that dragonfly doji is supposed to be the bottom, but instead it just got a bearish engulfing candle instead. So again, not great in that regard. The last 4 hours have been pretty terrible for Bitcoin. We can see we're below all moving averages as well. And then of course, still under 50 on the RSI. And I mentioned this yesterday, coming up here, breaking 50 would have been a very, very important thing. And of course, we've gotten rejected and continued lower ever since. So that's never, of course, a benefit. It's never positive to see that. We also have a bearish divergence here as well. So in that sense, it does look like there's more potential for further downside than upside at this point. So I'd wait on the sidelines for a closure today above 18,800 in that range, and hope for the best. Again, hope doesn't really have any position in crypto, but on the same accord, you got to be realistic. And when I say hope for the best, I don't mean take a trade and then hope for the best. I say stay on the sidelines, hope for the best. Once it gives us confirmation that it's going to reach cover, then at that point we can go ahead and consider taking a position. All right, so again, to my community members that are, asking me when is the next signal, honestly, I truly don't know. I'm not going to force a trade because I'd like to make sure that we have somewhat confirmation. Now, it's not a guaranteed science, it's not exact science, but you can increase your odds by waiting a little bit longer in most cases. Granted, you will miss some opportunities, there's no doubt about it, but it's less common for that to occur. All right, so taking a look here at TD sequential, we can see here, of course, we had this stupidly ridiculous decrease in value, a few days ago. And then, of course, well, I think that was just a couple days ago, rather, but the price action, killed itself there. And then, of course, it came back up, recovered, came up to this level right here, about 19,800. Really close to it. Of course, it fell short 19.7, but still hitting that resistance area, that zone, and effectively getting hit with a rejection. Okay, and we've been down ever since. So we hit a 9 on TD sequential, went into extreme overtime, and we recovered for a moment, got a little reset. Now we're back on our way down. So there is still strong potential for the price action to continue lower. If we take a look at the cloud as well, we can see that we never truly broke above the cloud. We wicked up a little bit, held just for a moment, but that was a key indication there, letting us know that based on these moving averages and just the way that the cloud works, at this point, a short position might be viable. We've got 3 out of 3 indicators telling us that a short should be the signal to take, right? We got a signal to take a short. Keep this in mind though, this isn't confirmation yet, right? You want to wait 3 or 4 hours before, above or below the cloud to get that full-on confirmation. That's what I like to wait for personally, and it tends to work out quite favorably in most cases. Because this is a false positive here, and we also have one right here, okay? So again, it's not a 100% green light, but a short seems much more realistic at this point than a long, just in the overall sense of what the charts are telling us, okay? So extremely bearish, there's nothing really much to note, can't sugarcoat it at all, it's just kind of crappy, and it's the way it goes. So anyways, that's really all we have here so far today. We'll take a look, of course, again tomorrow. Keep in mind there is a Fed meeting, of course, September 21st, so things get a little crazy. Be cautious and careful going into tomorrow's trading day, and of course, leading into that, I just highly recommend you be patient and wait for confirmation. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for becoming just a great part of my life. Thank you again to all my current community members, support that I receive from my subscribers as well. Everyone's really awesome. It's great to be able to work with you. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.